go. I'm getting ready. So we live, y'all. So I'm gonna go ahead and share it to you guys' pages so everybody can see it, and then we will get started. Mm-hmm. Let me share it to everybody's page. Y'all so quiet. Okay, so I just shared it to everybody's page. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Guys, men, women. Oh, wait a minute. Where did Taronda go? She done left me in here by myself with y'all. Oh no, we ain't doing that. Hey. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'm Tangi Roseborough. I am one of the hosts of the In Your Face podcast, where we talk about a variety of topics. The main topics are relationship topics. So tonight we're going to be talking about a topic called why do men and women remain in toxic relationships? I think that was a very interesting topic. What you think, Doug?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So I want you to go ahead and introduce yourself as well.
Okay. Okay. My name is Douglas. I go by Doug Henry, and hope everybody's well out there. And this is the brand new year, 2025. So God bless you all. So I'm ready to start, Miss Tangi. Let's,
Okay.
let's
All
get it.
right.
So let's
My
get
name my
Matt.
my
Go
name
ahead, Matt.
Max Walk. My name's Max Walker. I go by DJ Maximilian. And Happy New Year's, everyone.
Happy New Year.
Matt, you can't turn on your camera.
I'm in the car.
Oh, okay. Just show your face for a second so everybody can see who you are.
Okay, hold on. I'm trying to see. But I might have put it in for. Okay, there we go.
You driving?
Uh huh.
Oh Lord, yeah. Turn that off so we don't want no accidents on the road.
Okay.
Um, so tonight's topic is why do men and women stay in toxic relationships? I'm gonna give you guys an opportunity to kick this question off. Why do y'all think men, from a man point of view, why do you guys stay in toxic relationships?
Well,
So
well, when it first started off, it's not actually toxic. You got differences. I think when it turns toxic, when it turns violent or verbal abuse.
You think that's what make the relationship topic is violence and verbal abuse?
Definitely.
Okay. So that's all you feel like turns a relationship toxic from a man's point of view. Now when you say toxic from um, verbal and are you talking about like physical abuse?
Yeah, both. That's what we're talking about. Verbal and
Okay.
physical. Because you're gonna have situations where you're gonna disagree, but when you start like throwing stuff at each other, when you start threatening one another, then you run across stuff like that.
So if that's the case, then Max, why would you stay in that? Coming from a man or a woman, what would be your reason to stay in that toxicity?
It doesn't start off like that.
I know, but once it starts, why do you
Oh,
stay?
okay. So this what happens. A lot of times when you go through stuff like that, you feel like that you are a fixer.
A
You
failure?
you don't you don't think that you actually the problem. You think that you're a fixer, so you will compromise, or you just don't necessarily want to be alone.
Hmm. Anybody agree with that? I will say, um, I think the reason why people stay in toxic relationship is out of fear of the unknown, not wanting to start over. So it's easy for a person to say, and I can only speak for myself, not for all women, but it's easier to say, I don't want to start over. I'll just put up with what I got and start instead of going out there and starting over. But we all know that is totally unhealthy. So for me, the important thing is when we start to see those signs of toxicity in a relationship, that's the time to get out. Because to me, people can change, but most times a leopard don't change your spots. You can say I'm sorry all day long, but I promise you it's going to recycle back around. And you're
I
going to
agree.
find yourself going through the same thing over and over again. So it's not just physical. It's not, to me, I'm not going against what you feel, Max, but I'm just saying for me, it doesn't just, it's not just physical, emotional, it's everything wrapped up in everything. It's financial, it's spiritual, because people can be so toxic in so many areas in their lives. Anybody else want to say? Let me give you an opportunity since you are the host. Let's see what you got to say.
Well, both of you right to a certain extent. Toxic is like, to me, is like when you keep staying or going back to the person that you once split up from, or you don't know how to leave this person. Toxic can be anything, you know what I'm saying? It's how you feel about that person. And, like say they put you through so much to you just hang around, you take so much from them, and it's bad on your health, you know what I'm saying? So, and a lot of time people stay in toxic relationship because of the kids and financial reasons and stuff like that. It's a lot of reasons out there, you know what I'm saying? I guess it depends on who the person is, but it could be mentally draining, you know what I'm saying? And it's bad on your health,
I definitely agree with him.
Yes, I advise anybody that's going through it right now, get out of it. It's not worth it. It's really not worth it. I know, you're staying in for your kids, financial reasons, but, like I said, I was married for 20 years, and it wasn't abusive or anything like that. It was a mental drain for me. And I felt like I had to be there for the kids, you know what I'm saying? So all the arguments and stuff like that, and, arguing in front of the kids, and, I had to really catch myself, like, I can't keep doing this in front of the kids. It's arguing back and forward and stuff like that. It's unhealthy for them too. That's toxic, you know what I'm saying? So I had to have a talk with my youngest son to let him know the reason why daddy's ready to leave mommy. I had a talk with him before I made a move to do anything. I wanted him to get a better understanding of why I didn't want to be with his mother anymore. You know what I'm saying? So, and I told him why. I don't. When kids see mom and dad going at it or whatever the situation is, when they get out there and start doing their thing, it starts in the household. You know what I'm saying? So they see mom and daddy do it. It's like a leech. You know what I'm saying? It's like, not saying their relationship would be like that, but you don't want your kids telling their story one day. Oh, my mom and dad fuss and fight all the time, this and that. And I just felt like I had to talk to my son about it before I made some moves. Because that was toxic for me, standing something for your kids. And because two people are afraid to go out there and take a chance because they've been together so long. It's not that you still love each other, but you're not in love with each other anymore. And it's kind of scary. Two people scared to let each other go because of, like I say, financial reasons, or they may not want this person to have you. They don't want you. Toxic can mean anything. It depends on the situation, I don't know if that makes sense to you all, but
I think it's
that's just my experience on it. That was toxic for me, Doug, as a man. doing it for the financial reason, the kids and stuff like that. I couldn't be a father to my kids if I'm in something that I'm not happy. You know what I'm saying? And it's not that you choosing to leave over your kids, just that you got to work on you first in order to be that person or that father that you need to be. You got to be happy. You have to be happy first. And that's what I had to. That's what I had to do. I had to make Doug happy. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, walking around bitter and mad at each other and stuff like that is very unhealthy. It's just toxic. That's all it is. It's toxic.
Right.
Right.
Leisha, Taronda, either one of y'all want to speak on it? Well, Leisha gone now. Taronda. I don't know if she can talk. She at work too, so. But I think, Doug, I think you made a valid point. But I also think it's to each his own. What that person, the people that's in the relationship deem, as toxic. You know what I'm saying? Some people can put up with stuff. I just choose, not to. I have before. It's a learning experience, but now it's like I just don't have the time to or the momentum to put back into something that's not going to be of anything. So, Leisha, we was talking about the toxic relationships before you were knocked out. Did you want to talk about anything or respond to anything that we've said this far? And she just keep getting knocked out. Leisha must be gonna bring it tonight because she just keep on getting knocked out. But so let me ask you this. How long do you stay in it? How do you know, okay, it's time to go? And then when you do say, hey, it's time to go, like, do you sever all ties or do you stay connected in some way? Because like you said, sometimes you're afraid to just totally let go. So when do you figure out this is it? I'm letting go. Because sometimes, get what? Just because we walk away doesn't necessarily mean that we don't let it go. You know what I'm saying? So either one of y'all.
Well, my thing is, when it's time to let it go. When you burn out mentally, when it's time to let it go, because your actions gonna speak for it. You know what I'm saying? When you get to saying things out of order and doing things out of order, you already know that it's overdue time to go. You know what I'm saying? So it's just that it's mentally drained. You know what I'm saying? And when it get that way, you gotta let it go. You know what I'm saying? And that's why we talk about staying toxic, because you want to let it go, but you're not ready to let it go. But you know what I'm saying, because of different reasons. That's just toxic for me. It just now, years later, looking back, I wish that I did it a long time ago, because I'm at a happy place right now, and I hadn't felt this way in a long time. You know what I'm saying? So me being a man, I didn't know what my worth was. I did. You know what I'm saying? Because, being in a marriage for so long, you know what I'm saying, that I don't know, when you got differences, man, it's a burnout. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
So it's like learning yourself over again. You know what I'm saying? You got to learn to love yourself.
That's so true.
And once you learn to love yourself, on the next go around in relationships or maybe marriage, you'll know what you accept, what you want to accept. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because I would never want to go back to that dark place I used to be.
Right.
I choose peace of mind over looks, money, cars, job. I don't care what it is you got going on. If it ain't right, you can I'm out. You know what I'm saying? It's just what it is. I would never hang around in what we call in a toxic relationship. Never again. That's a promise to myself.
So basically what you're saying is you learned from it.
Oh, yes, ma'am. I learned. It took me a long time to learn, But I learned. Now that I'm an older man, you know, I learned. Life
Right.
is already too short. And to stay in something that's mentally draining, it's not
Oh,
worth
it
it.
is.
It's just not worth it. I
It
don't
is.
care how many years you've been in it. I don't care if you love them to the end of the world. But if it's not right, what they say, if the shoe don't fit, why try to
Time to
put
let
it
it
on
go.
right to wear? I'm just saying. So
Right.
it's
So,
just
Sharonda, I see you keep trying to say something. Go ahead, sis.
Okay. You said why do they stay?
Yeah.
Like the other gentleman, I think his name was Max.
Mm-hmm.
He said it very well. It don't start out that way. And so when it don't start out that way, you've invested feelings, you think you're in love, and it's hard when you have hope that okay, things will change because you love that person. It's a lot of times why you stay in those relationships is where your heart is. A lot of times you're like, okay, this person in my heart, I'm willing to keep putting up with this. They're gonna change. And not so much sometimes that you're trying to change it, but you hope they'll change, or not realizing that you're part of that and that you need to change and whatever your part is in that needs to change. So that's why a lot of times, and Doug said something very important, when you don't know how to love yourself and what real love looks like first, and loving yourself that you can love somebody else, it's another reason you would stay in it. And I can say that happened to me. I didn't know how to love me, but once I learned how to love me, I was able to let go of a toxic relationship. And actually, me and that person became friends, very good friends.
oh wow. I'm with you on that. With you on that. With you on that.
Leisha said she kept getting knocked out. So she says that, oh Lord, I can't see it. I don't have my glasses. She says you stay because you grow comfortable and now aware of the toxicity. Um, yeah, that's really true, Leash. You do become comfortable, and that comfortability will make you feel like you don't want to start over, and so a lot of times you stay and you put up with stuff that's unnecessary because of fear of starting over. You know what I'm saying? But there has to be a point of breaking. You have to know when it is time to go because it can turn into something more sinister than just being toxic. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we have a lot of men that have taken women lives because the women were too afraid to leave, or they felt like they could change a person or change the man or whatever, and vice versa, because you have women that has also taken the lives of men because it surpasses what we deem as toxic. You know what I'm saying? And then it go over into, to where it's just detrimental and your life is at stake. I actually told a young lady that today. She not a young lady, she's a young girl, and she's in a toxic relationship. She's in the 9th grade, and I was telling her boyfriend is beating on her. She's a beautiful young lady, and I was telling her, she needed to work on a plan of getting out. But with her being so young, and both of them are in the 9th grade, and he's already putting his hands on her, I told her when she do decide to let it go, she really needs to be around somebody, because nowadays people don't care about picking up a gun. People don't value life anymore. So what we deemed toxic back in the day, it surpasses that today. That could just mean that's the end of your life because I can't live without you. So I'm not gonna let nobody else have you. Um, so yeah, that it's just the life that we're living in, and it's to each his own. You know, so I also toxic could be um uh somebody that's a narcissist. You know what I'm saying? Always gaslighting you, making you feel like you're less than. The verbal abuse, all of that is considered toxic. So I guess it's like I said, it's just to each his own. So, but you got to know your breaking point. You got to know when to walk away, right, y'all.
Yeah,
And
that's the
sometimes
thing
you just
about
got to
it.
sever all ties.
Right. That's the thing about it. Nobody knows when it's time to walk away. That's the toxic thing about it. It's not right. That goes back to what we were saying is that you never know when to walk away because you have so much invested. You know what I'm saying? mentally, physically, financially, kids. I'm just saying you don't know when to walk away, but it's gonna come a point when you're gonna have to you know, it's gonna be a choice, but you don't want to be made to walk away. Like you was talking about the young lady in the abusive relationship, and she's only in the 9th grade. She don't know what to do. It's gonna come a time when you're gonna have to, when you're gonna be forced to, and you don't want to get like that. That's why you got to be in a good place mentally, because people have died trying to get out of a toxic relationship because they don't know when. And then when they try to do it, they're too far in, you know what I'm saying? And bad things happen. So really don't know when it's a good time to get out of it. But my thing about it, we see these red flags. We see these red flags. Even like Rose said, even from the beginning, it starts out that way. Everything's smooth. That's every relationship. They got to be nice to get you right. Because they really showed you who they really are, you wouldn't date them, right? You wouldn't be involved with them. So people, they're going to hide the true identity, man, till you know what I'm saying, till you start seeing things that not right, not connecting. You see all these red flags, but you choose to deal with them because you done fell in love with them. They done did this, they done did that. You're going places, you're doing things people does in relationships, and you're already there, you're feeling some type of way. But you see these red flags, and that's what we all go wrong at, these red flags. You see these red flags, they try to tell you something, right? They red flag for a reason, right?
Yeah.
Run.
Right.
Like that man said in the movie, run, 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 run.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, the people that I have dated, after my marriage or whatever, I guess I was real picky by it. They like, I'm not like your wife, I'm not this, but I didn't judge them like my wife. I just seen red flags, and that's what I'm saying. I know what I accept, what I want to accept. And I'm deep on that. I live by that. But I don't know if that makes sense to y'all, but I'm just throwing it out there. You never know when it's time to leave.
Yeah.
You got to pray about it. Go out there on faith. You got to go out there on faith. That's what I did. Go out there on faith. It's a better world out there. You don't have to stay in that, what we call a toxic relationship, because you so in love with this person. If somebody's so in love with you, they wouldn't put their hands on you. They wouldn't do this. They wouldn't call you names. They wouldn't leave you in a bad place mentally. Know your difference. Know your difference. Love yourself. You got to love yourself. That's the only thing I'm saying. When you love yourself, you'll know how to get out of it. You know what I'm saying? You got to. Whoever that young lady is, put a prayer out for her, but don't know her. I hope she get a nerve to leave it alone, leave this guy alone, because if they just in the 9th grade and he already doing this right here, she's in trouble. She's in
that's
trouble.
what I was sharing with her,
And that's the thing about it. That's how it starts out. You know what I'm saying? It starts out that way. And it's sad that it starts out that way at such a young age. It's sad.
Yeah.
Feel sorry for the young lady.
Alicia said, it's time when you see the flag, when you are a fixer, you try and keep trying and end up losing yourself, because men and women know how to mask the layers. And that is so true, because most times people, when you meet somebody, you got to have some type of physical attraction to them. And so most times women, especially women, get caught up in the look or the way a person dress or what they drive or the money that they have, without really getting to know a person from the inside. And even if you're dating somebody, they still know how to mask those things until you actually get into a full-blown relationship with somebody. You never really know how that person is, because we just said it. They mask it in order to get what they want. And then after they get what they want, and over time, you can't hide it for so long. It's going to eventually come out. Your true colors are going to show, And so like you said, with the red flags, when you start seeing those red flags, it's a wave. Hey, it's time to let this go. It's time to step away. And I believe so many people would not have lost their life if they had the unction, even the momentum to lead these relationships when they first began to see these type of red flags.
Right.
But it's something seriously to think about, especially when you are incorporating sex in it. I'm at school, so I gotta be cautious. But because that itself is a soul tie. And believe it or not, people hold on to people because they say, oh, they sex is good. Oh, I ain't gonna be able to find nobody else that do this or do that to me. That is a whole lie. I don't want to be with somebody because your sex is good. I don't even want that to be based on that. It's all about how you treat me as a woman, how you respond to me as a woman. That's what I'm looking at now. Because like you say, you're a grown man, I'm a grown woman. And this is what we're looking for now. But a lot of people, they're not looking for that. They're looking for somebody to say, I got this person. I'd rather have half of a man than no man at all. Believe it or not, people still really do that. Mm-hmm. Did you want to say something, Taronda? I'm sorry.
And that's the thing, the mindset. A lot of times now with dating, people are not honest as to what their motives are from the get go. Where when you get in it, if they're not trying to date you and you thinking y'all exclusive, one is caught feelings and the other one ain't got no feelings. And they get toxic. You thinking, oh, it's me and you and it's going somewhere. And the other person done caught feelings and you ain't. That make people feel some kind of way, which leads to verbal abuse as well as physical abuse.
That's right.
That's true. That's true. That's true. I agree with you, young lady. And I'm not smashing us guys, but we'll do it in a minute. Instead of letting these women know what your intentions are, what you had going on. I mean, if you have somebody or you're in some type of complicated relationship, you want to call it, let them know this is what's going on with me. I mean, what do you have to lose? You know what I'm saying? Whether she deal with you or she don't deal with you, at least you was honest. If she deal with you and it don't turn right, then you was honest from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? That's all on her. But if you lie to this woman, you do, I'm single, I'm not seeing anybody, and she catch feelings for you, and then she find out you wasn't what you call single, and she shows out on you, then that's on you guys. You know what I'm saying? So it's just something that most guys got a bad habit of doing it. And most of us, as old as we are, you should know better. You know what I'm saying? Out there playing them games like that, be straight up with these women.
Women do it too.
Yeah, women does it too. Women does it too. Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of women be like, well, somebody did it to me. Somebody did it to me. You know what I'm saying? That's the first thing they holler. But, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you got to be a woman about it. Don't stoop down to somebody else's level that hurt you, especially if this woman had did anything to you. You know what I'm saying? And then for the people out there that's doing relationship stuff, I had a friend, out Doug's group, was telling me, she met a guy. They started hanging out, doing couple stuff. And I think they was hanging out for probably about 6 months. And so the guy started slacking up on some things, and she was wondering what it was. Did she do anything? She asked me, she told me some details and asked me my advice and stuff like that. I told her, I said, let me ask you something. When y'all was hanging out and you meet each other friends, how do you introduce each other? We say friend. I said, well, that's all you were to him, was friend. I said,
that's right.
A man will take you a long way until you get to holler about a relationship, or you get to holler about you in love, especially if he's not ready for that with you or anybody else. He'll ride or die with you until you say them words that he's not ready to hear. And I asked, I said, what if you saw this guy with another female? How would you feel? Would you be upset? She said, I probably would. I'd be hurt. I say, first thing a man gonna holler. First thing a man gonna say, we don't go together. We just friends, like that. Know your partner. Know who you're dealing with. Get a better understanding what type of relationship. And I'm saying this to the women and the guy. Get a relationship. Know what you are to that person. You know what I'm saying? Then you know how either whether you're gonna deal with them or not. If you do, you know how to deal with them. You know what I'm saying? Know your part in this relationship if you're gonna deal. That's the only thing I'm saying. You gotta know each other's part if you're gonna deal. Because don't get caught up thinking you in a relationship and this person right here thinking y'all just friends. You know what I'm saying? So, and then you find out you was only just a friend. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people get caught up that way. I'm just saying, know your partner. Know your partner. I'm not trying to be funny or anything. I'm just saying, know who you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, I didn't mean to jump on something else because I like to jump around and hit all types of angles of this relationship
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, that's all right. That's all right.
I'm
So
just
are
saying
you saying
this know your partner. Don't get caught up. You know what I'm saying? Make sure
Right.
y'all on the same level before you get to holler about what's yours,
so
this,
you
this, and that.
so
Make
are,
sure y'all on the same level. But
so you saying there need to be a conversation from the get-go?
well, I mean, I'm not saying
I would say so
just
because if we say we're friends and we'll say if something changed in the relationship, we have to revisit that conversation. Then everybody will know where they are in that situation.
yeah, that's true. That's true.
Because see, her mindset might have been 6 months, we date. What you mean? That's in her mindset. But if you ain't discussed that, then you'll never know.
That's the whole point I'm talking about. You're right. If you had that's what I was just saying. Know what position you're going to play. Whether you're going to play a position or you're not going to play a position. Know your role. If you're not down for this and this person done told you this, then you got a right to not fool with them. But if this person done told you what was going on and you choose to deal with them, then that's on you. You know what I'm saying? So, like I say, it's all about communication from the beginning. But the thing about it, most of them not going to tell you the truth. They're not going to tell you the truth what's going on with them. And it's sad. I mean, especially grown people out there. I mean, we
Yeah,
all grown adults. We did that and done that. It comes a time in life when you got to grow up and graduate from certain stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I just couldn't sleep at night knowing that I done lied to this woman that I'm not doing this, I'm not doing this, or I don't have this situation going on. I'm gonna be straight up. I'm gonna let you know what I got going on. If you decide that you wanna deal with me or whatever, then you got that choice. But this is what's happening with me. Doug, as a man, I'm being straight up with you. You don't want to deal with me, that's fine. Hey, we friends, hey, how you doing? We make phone calls here and there. That's it. But this is what's happening with me. And that's what I'm saying. People be more honest about what's going on in their life. You get better results. You know what I'm saying? That just
but
I don't
but
know if it makes sense, but just laying it out there.
truth be told, a lot of guys are not like you. They're not upfront about it. They come with these sweet nothings and they tell you all of this stuff. And even if they do say, we got to start out as friends because you want to be friends with your partner. I want you to be my best friend. So of course you're gonna be in the friend zone. But then when you like Taronda was saying, okay, so what does that mean? The friend zone. Have we discussed the date? Because I'm not gonna be your friend forever. If you planning on dating me, we need to be working towards that or whatever. So some men would just keep women hanging on, so that they don't leave and they have no intentions of even being with them. And that's like it's just leading them on so that they can have them around. And then most women will put their life on hold until this guy decide or this man decide whether he want to be with her or not. And she won't date. You know what I'm saying? Most women, I'm not saying all women, she won't date, she won't talk to nobody because in her mind, she's thinking that him, they're going to be together. They're going to build a relationship together because he keep telling her, hold on, and no, not not saying this is just what it is, and I'm just talking about the majority of men and women. And so, like you said, if people are straight up and honest from the get-go, then that is you giving that person an opportunity to decide whether they want to stick around and be even wait to see if something is going to happen. So men and women both should not be sugarcoating anything if they know their intentions is not pure for the opposite sex, whether you're a man or whether you're a female. That's just my take on that. What you gonna say to Rhonda?
Nothing. I'm disagreeing with what y'all said. That should be on both parties, the men and the women, because that can get toxic real quick. Because when people get their feelings and stuff, they don't think rational. Like that's when silly things can happen. She may try to do something to your car or vice versa. He's showing up on your job and stuff like that. That's why I said those communication skills, a lot of times we want to wait. Well, we got time. No, we need to have those conversations. So like you said, we give each other that chance to say we want to deal or not deal. To me, that's fair to you and me.
Yeah, you give them that option, and not play with people's feelings, because that's how a lot of things get out of hand. And I think the media play a lot in women staying in unhealthy relationships as well, because you got songs like Mary J. Blige, I Love My Mr. Wrong. Listen, I love that song. Hey, how you doing? Hold on, yeah.
Are you in here all the time now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where I am.
This is where you are.
I'm sorry about that, y'all. I am at work, so, but
that's
yeah,
understandable. That's understandable.
yeah.
It,
So,
it,
but
it, it,
that's just my take on it. Because, like I said, Mary J. Blige got that song, "I Love My Mr. Wrong," and I love that song. I think I like. Listen, I like the words to it, some of it, but that's not my mindset anymore. I used to jam to it back in the day. I love my Mr. Wrong, but no, I don't want my Mr. Wrong. Wrong. And so you gotta you gotta change the mindset. You gotta change your thought process, for real. And that's what it's about as well. So this is a really good topic. I really think, because people stay far too long in toxic relationships that they don't even have to, and waste time that they can be spending with somebody who genuinely wants to be with them, on both sides of the spectrum, men and women. So what's on your mind? Because you're thinking hard, Douglas.
For me, nah, the young gentleman, he's still in the group.
No, he got off.
Oh, okay.
I guess he was going somewhere because he was driving.
Okay,
So,
well, I was brainstorming, just listening to what you were saying and stuff. That's all. I'm gonna jump around a little bit too. I'm gonna ask y'all two ladies this right here. I had a friend guy a couple years ago. He called me up. He was a little upset about his situation. He said, "Man, I want to ask your opinion about something." I said, "What is it?" He said, "As you know, my lady and I do not live together. We stay in separate households." He says that when I'm about ready to hang out, what he call hang out, going to the bar or something like that, his old lady want him to let him know when he leave home and come back home.
are they married?
They're not married. And
Okay.
so she gets upset when he don't do those things. And he was like, I'm not married to her. I shouldn't have to do those things and stuff like that. So I'm gonna get y'all intake on that. What y'all think about it? Do y'all you was in a relationship with a guy, y'all, you know, living in separate households, and do you think you need to let y'all know every move that he makes, whether going
I
to a
don't.
bar or when he leave, when he come home? I mean, what's y'all intake on that? You think that's not fair to this guy? I mean, what's y'all intake?
I think there's some trust issues, and where there's some trust issues, there's some problems. And now I can only speak for me. I'm not the type of person who's jealous, so I'm not gonna go out here and get mad because I might see my guy talking to another female, as long as he's not being disrespectful to me in any kind of way. Now, if there is something I need to address, I will address it in a professional way, or I will attempt to. But no, I don't have to know your every move, because I'm gonna trust you until you give me a reason not to trust you. So that's my take on that. And that makes her look guilty. Like, what is she doing? You know what I'm saying? That she want to know his every move. It's all about trust. Nobody want to be with somebody that they cannot trust.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So unless you give me a reason not to trust you, I'm gonna trust you 100%. So yeah, go hang out with your guys. Have fun. I say that all the time. Have fun. I want you to go have fun, because when it's my time to go, I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna have a good time. But I'm gonna keep it, good. I'm not gonna be just going out here doing any and everything. You know what I'm saying? Because I represent you, you represent me. So I ain't gotta know everything you're doing. That's just me. What you was gonna say, Taronda?
Sound like it was some trust issues there from the beginning, because if you got to know what every move you make, why you ain't living together, that don't make sense to me. It sounds
Mm.
like there's some trust issues there, because even in a marriage, and I've been there before, I didn't have to be up under my husband 24/7. I enjoyed when we did individual things and enjoyed our time separated from each other. So I don't understand it. It sounds like there's some trust issues there, period. Because I don't want to know nobody's every
Mm-hmm.
move, and I don't want nobody else to know my every move. There's got to be some trust issues.
Exactly. Because at the end of the day, you're still your own individual person, and no matter if she knew where he was going, what was she gonna do? She can't control it. So what was she gonna do with it? Stress herself out about, oh, what is he doing? What time he coming in? Where did they go? Who he talk to? No, I ain't never got time for that, man. That's too
Right.
much. If you got to do
Yep.
that, get out of the relationship.
So basically, she was in the wrong, right?
I mean,
It ain't. I mean, I'm not trying to say who was right, who was wrong, and who shouldn't or whatever. I'm just saying, what's your intake though? I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, so you
We
say,
would have to know more about the situation. That's why I say it seemed like it was some trust issues. I don't think he was for coming telling everything. That woman ain't
mm,
looked out for nothing. I'm sorry. Mm-mm.
okay, well,
what did
okay,
he do?
just say it is the trust issues, and that goes back to what we were saying, toxic, right? So that means she got choices, right? I mean, that's what we just talking about toxic, right? That's what I was getting to. That's part of toxic too. You know what I'm saying? So you have choice. Just say if that man were out there got caught by her, or she's hearing things about what he does in the street, but she's still with him though. That's toxic. That's the point that I was getting to. We all got choices. You know what I'm saying? Whether you deal with it or not, you got choices. If you
But
have
Doug,
trust issues, if you don't trust that man or that man don't trust you, then why be together? I'm just saying. Why
but
be
I
together?
agree with what Taronda says though. Like, what did he do to make her even feel that way? We don't know the beginning story of it. Leisha said, "No, we are not. We are partners, not parents."
Yup.
She said that's a control freak. But at the end of the day, I agree. She is doing a little bit too much, and she's just stressing herself out because he's going on. He's having a good time. But at the end of the day, I'm just wondering, did he do anything to put her in that position to feel how she feel? Because sometimes y'all guys do that, and then you throw the rock and hide your hand and be like, "You crazy? Why you acting like that?" Without looking at the whole circumstance as to what happened and made this female to be like that. And she could already be like that. I mean, I don't know, you know, because some females do have control issues. But I don't want to know your every move, child. But don't ask me my every move. I'm not gonna ask you your every move. Just respect. It's all about respect.
So I have
That's
a
what I say.
question. Do you need to know anything about your person's past?
Well, who are you asking?
Mm.
I think a person passes their past. That's how I look at it. If they decide to tell you that, man, that's cool. If they don't, your past is your past. And sometimes when you tell a person your past, sometimes it might bite you in the butt. You know what I'm saying? It depends on what you're telling them, what the situation was. But let me ask you this, since you threw the question out there, would you tell your person your past?
Well, we're talking in reference to toxicity.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes you people don't know what you've been through. They don't know that they can trigger you. If that man don't know she got trust issues, see, that's why I asked the questions. That's where toxicity can come up because you don't know this has went on with me. So if we're in a relationship, am I vulnerable enough or your person that I can come to you and say, listen, this is something I dealt with. Yes, I'm working on it, but this could be a trigger. That way you would know, because they can call toxicity. You had no idea this has happened, that you even triggering a person. So that's why I'm asking in reference of toxic relationships.
Let me say this to that. That's when it comes to healing. If you hadn't healed yet, anything gonna trigger you. If you going in relationship, no matter what that person, no matter if you told that person, they told you what they've been through. If you hadn't healed yet, it's gonna trigger you anyway. That's just my intake about it. That's why they say you got to take time to yourself to heal before you get in another relationship. If you hadn't healed yet, just like me, I can tell you everything. I did this and I ran around. I did this. I can tell you all that. But or she did this to me. So I'm basically letting you know not to do it to me. Basically, whatever. And that goes back to this. If you hadn't healed yet, anything going to trigger you off, no matter if you tell them not. That's why they say you got to heal first before you get in a relationship. No matter what that person do, if they had did anything like the other person did, it could be their own thing they did. If you heal, you can handle it a whole lot better, whether they told it to you or not. I don't know if that makes sense. Because if you hadn't healed yet, it ain't gonna work anyway. That's just my opinion about it. So I don't know if that makes sense, but that's just me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna jump in a relationship if I hadn't healed yet. And I feel like this person need to tell me they passed, or I need to tell them why I'm in the situation or why I feel the way I do, or trust issue because of how she did me. And you shouldn't do me like that because I'm letting you know what I've been through. And that goes back to what I was saying earlier. When you heal, you know what you accept in your life, what you want to accept. That's just where I'm getting at. I don't know if it makes sense or not, but it starts with you. It starts with you. It starts with your healing process. If you're not healed yet, no matter if you tell this person or they tell you they true, it's still going to trigger you if you're not healed yet. You need to heal first.
And I agree with that. I agree you have healing. But let me say something, and a lot of people probably going to disagree with me. Meaning, if that's your person, if you got close enough to them, even though you've healed, it's still sometimes things can trigger you, even with you being healed and taking that time. Meaning, I'm talking about somebody that you're really trying to be with, that you think you can be vulnerable with. Reason I say that is I can't change nothing I don't know about. See, that put me at a disadvantage to make our relationship better when I'm unaware of what's going on. So I don't mean your whole past for them to judge you. I mean enough of your past that if something is going on with you, they can understand you. That's where I was coming from. So it don't become toxic.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I agree with both of you guys, to tell you the truth, but um you are definitely right, Taronda. You can be healed from something, and it could be a smell, it can be the way that he or she talks to you, the way that they treat. I mean, like anything can bring up a trigger, and you can be totally healed from it. But because you went through it, it's an experience that you're familiar with. That doesn't necessarily mean that you're not healed. And at that moment, I feel like if you are in that position, it should be okay to address how you feel with your person, and they be okay with understanding how you feel. Because otherwise, how you gonna know, what you can deal with, what you're not gonna deal with, and or either how you certain things make you feel. It should be communicate. Communication is everything. And so if that happens and you are triggered, it shouldn't be a knockdown, drag out argument. It should be, hey, I want to address, the way I feel about something that you did, because that's a trigger for me. But I'm healed, but that is still a trigger for me because I went through that. So I want you to know that this is how that made me feel, without having to go into like a knockdown, drag out argument. Okay, so what you shaking your head for, Douglas?
I mean, I was I I guess I'm different. I don't know. I'm different. I mean, 'cause I'm
So
just saying it.
Douglas, you can ask me.
And I jump around from red flag. I jump around. I'm going for red flags now. If I see these red flags, I'm the type of man that, and I know what I done been through. If I see something that's similar to, and I can have this conversation like you all talking about, but if I see something that doesn't trigger at all, guess what? I'm gonna back up a
That
little
doesn't
bit.
necessarily mean that that's a red flag if she doesn't know that triggers you, like
Well,
Taronda was saying.
Right.
it's
That's
a red
exactly
flag to me.
why.
But
That's
how would
my
she know that if you
shit.
don't talk
Well,
to her about it? So
that
you
goes
just
to
gonna walk away. You're just
see.
gonna walk away
I, I
because
I didn't say I was gonna walk away. I'm gonna backpedal a little bit, and I'm gonna think things through. We're gonna have a conversation about it or whatever. But that goes back to me. I have healed. I'm just saying. I have healed. I'm not gonna let if something trigger me off something like that till it, what I'm saying, it till it throws me off beat stuff like that. I'm gonna rethink some things. I'm gonna have a conversation, but I'm not gonna just quit on or anything like that. But I didn't heal, so I know what I'm gonna sell, what I'm not going to sell. That's just what it is. I'm not gonna put up with nothing. I'm just keeping it real with you, because if you've been through something for so many years, and it took you so long to get where you at now. I would not let nobody take that away from me anymore. That's just my mindset. I'm different. That's just how I feel about it. I see what y'all saying. I'm
And
not
I,
against what I'm not against what y'all saying, but when you healed, I'm not gonna let nobody take my peace away. I mean, I'm just saying, but we can have this
so
conversation.
now you're making this all about you. Then you're not
Yeah,
thinking. You're not.
no,
You're not thinking about
it's
the
not
fact
all
that this
about me.
female.
But no, it's not about me. It's just that, okay, say for instance, this person keep doing this. And you say you done had a conversation with them, but that means you're gonna keep taking it and taking it and taking it, even after you told them or they told you what they plans were. I'm
Of
just
course
throwing it out
not.
there for you. So
No, of
you're
course
gonna
not.
keep
You don't.
taking.
You don't keep going into the same thing. But if somebody that's just like anything. If you don't know, then you can't be held accountable for something that you don't know. But once you come into the knowledge of it, it should be some changes. If that person is continually doing the same thing, then guess what? She don't care about how you feel, because she's not going to keep doing something that she knows is going to trigger you from things that you've already been through. So the communication is letting her know, hey, I have an issue with that because I experienced that. Not to say that you're the same person, but this is how that made me feel. And so if it's a person that genuinely cares about you and want to be with you, they won't do it anymore, male or female. But now you got it to where, especially guys, they'll say, Or you just making everything out of nothing. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm voicing how I feel. Why does that have to be making something out of nothing? Like, you don't want to hear about how I feel or how something you did made me feel? That's a problem?
I think we can use the word trigger so loosely because I understand trigger, but what I'm saying is I can't fix something that I don't know. And if I'm
Exactly.
invested in you and I really care about you, then I want to know what it is that I can do to not do a thing that makes you feel some kind of way because my best interest is that we make it work. But I can't make it work if you don't tell me what's going on. So that was only what I meant by the past. Nobody don't need to know everything about their past. Because you're right, that's the past. But enough that, I know what you bring it to the table. Put it this way. I think a lot of times in dating now, a lot of toxicity come because people saying they representative. They're not genuine. They're not real. They come fronting as who they are instead of really who they are, if that makes sense.
Mm. Say that one more time, Taronda. Say that one
They
more
come
time.
as a representative as who they are instead of who they are.
An imitation.
Meaning, let me just be me. Let me just be transparent. I'm the type person that in these last couple of years of the dating world is I appreciated a man that was straight up with me. And people like, how you can be friends? Because they were just straight up. They told me from the get go what it was, or if, I wasn't a cup of tea. I can really appreciate somebody that's being real with who they are. I got the
Mm.
most respect for. But when you come another way, that's distasteful. You know what I'm saying? That presents problems. So that's what I mean by that.
Okay. Yeah, and I guess it's to each his own how everybody look at it. You know what I'm saying? Because each relationship is different. But the most important key factors in the relationship, I think, is being totally honest, upfront, transparent about what it is that you want in the relationship, and also giving the person the opportunity to decide whether they want to be with you or not. Communication is so important in the relationship. Let me ask you this, and this is you talking about jumping around. Could you be in a relationship with somebody that you just not attracted to, but you like their vibe? Like, could you really be in a relationship with somebody you's like, no, she or he is not my cup of tea, but you know, it's like nothing really there, but I like their vibe. Could you be with somebody like that? Like somebody that you're not even attracted to? Or would you just keep that person around because you like their vibe?
It depends on, I guess, the personality. Meaning, if you're that type person that is not always about the looks or whatever, and you start spending time and then you develop feelings, of course that can happen. With time, that can happen. And I am a personality person that I rather your personality of who you are stand out to me than those other features.
Yeah. What about you, Douglas? We we didn't make
You
you
said,
shut down, did we?
oh no, 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 oh, no. I'm just sitting back listening. Ain't shut me down. No, I didn't shut me down. I'm sitting back listening. That's all.
So
Hey,
would you be able to be in a relationship with somebody that you're not physically attracted to, but you like their vibe?
no, I,
You wouldn't be able to do it?
I couldn't do it. I could not do it. They can have the best vibe in the world, but I had to be attracted to them. That's just me. It's my opinion, but I couldn't
Right,
do it. Nope.
right. Okay. Well, I mean, everybody have their taste and everything. So, well, we're getting ready to close shop. We've been on for about an hour almost. Any last comments that you guys want to leave with the listening audience?
Yeah, I'm gonna say do the work to love yourself and be able to set those healthy boundaries for yourself, but also respect other people's boundaries when it comes to relationships, and have that honest communication in what you said. Be transparent as possible.
I agree.
Okay.
Any lasting words from you?
Love yourself. Love yourself. That's the only thing I say. Is love yourself. Because when people start loving you, because at the end of the day, at the beginning of the day, you got to love yourself. At the end of the day, it's all about you. Because some people will walk all over you. Some people will love all over you. But it's still at the end of the day and at the beginning of the day, love yourself unconditionally. Yeah.
That's so important. That is so important. Being able to do both of what you guys, said. So my last remarks is, Doug said something key in this topic. He said heal. That's so important, that you definitely heal, so that you're not bringing unnecessary baggage into a new relationship and expecting somebody else to carry the baggage that somebody else gave you. So definitely heal, and be okay with not being okay with whatever the opposite person, chooses. Because at the end of the day, we don't have the power to make anybody choose us. So we got to choose us. Like he said, love yourself. So if nobody else chooses us, we have to choose us for our mental stability, for our self-worth, our self-value. Because you don't want to be with somebody who looks at you as just, somebody that they just can deal with. No. If that's the case, you can deal with yourself by yourself, So take and pay attention to the red flags, as he called it, the red flags, and all the toxicity that may be going on in the relationship. Stop marking it off as nothing. Pay attention to it, and grow from it. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate this was a great topic tonight. I really do appreciate you guys, and we'll be coming back on soon. Taronda, we pray that you're able to come back and help us, join us again when we come back with another relationship topic. So at the end of the day, y'all have a blessed night.
You too. Appreciate that. Have a blessed night.
All right.